Welcome back to another weekly Forexcast. All right, it's been a couple of weeks since I've done one. Been crazy busy, but I'm back at it. Let's see what the markets got for us. Starting with the dollar index. All right, we can see that the dollar has ended the week bullish. All right, it's been pumping with all of the liquidity pumping into the market. We got inflation around things coming into the market. So we see here this weekly candle closed strong bullish. All right, it broke above this structure right here. Broke above structure. So seeing that, I will look for price to, possibly continue up to our next level of structure. All right. So if we go down to, let's say, the 4 hour, all right, price is still looking real bullish. We could get a correction here, but even if price was to correct, overall, I still will anticipate and look to see if we probably print a higher low somewhere around there and then maybe continue to give us that bullish wave. All right. And we'll likely see the majors, whether it's AU, GU, EU, all these different pairs that's paired up with the dollar, trade in line with that, that's going in line with the strength of the dollar. All right. So let's see gold. So looking at gold, we're basically at a break or bounce level because we could see, look at, 1 second. So if you look at this on a weekly, price is at a level of basically a level of structure. Looking to the left, you see I have this right here where just so you can point this out. Right here, you see I have this trend line drawn from this lower high, right? I have it drawn from that lower high to this lower high, all right? And extend it out into the future. So seeing that, if price was to continue to break above that, continue to break above structure, then it's likely we probably could see continued bullish pressure to the upside. All right, but this is a level that I will pay attention to price action to see how price is reacting around here. Because you see in the past, this was a level of resistance where price sold off. All right, we had some support structure here. Okay, so now we're back at this level and we just got to react to price. So if we take this down to, let's say, the 4 hour, you could see bullish, bullish price action, right? Higher lows, higher highs. All right, so at this level, if price gives us a sharp rejection from here and breaks down, then I will look to catch that pullback opportunity for a continued wave to the downside. But at first, last week, it did give us a rejection here, this first rejection. All right, then after that, price pulled back up, right, chopped right here, and now we're back at this high. All right, so this is a break or bounce level. If we get another strong rejection from there, then that could be a sign that we're going to get that corrective sell. All right, so we just got to see how gold wants to react here. All right, looking at GU. So GU gave us that continued wave to the downside. If you were in VIP, I believe we were anticipating continued sales from this top. All right, once price had a pump up here, all right, you see we had this lower high, this trend line drawn through this lower high and extended out. Price came up here and printed this strong rejection right here, right on the weekly. All right, first you had this pin bar type rejection, and then you had this shooting star type rejection. But this right here is pretty much an evening star, all right, on the weekly. So that was all signs we needed to see for price to continue down. All right, so it's important to know when you get around these levels of structure, how you can trade this. All right, because now you see this on the daily. Now you see this on the daily chart. You can see that price printed this bearish engulfing here on the daily. All right, so all signs were to the downside, and you see price just continue from there, pull back slightly, strong breakdown, another pullback, retest of structure here, and then you had the continuation, right, continuing that bearish wave to the downside. All right, so now where we're at a strong level of structure. All right, if we look to the left, always look to the left to go right. This is a level of structure that you can anticipate to be hit once you see that continuation, and pretty much we're there now. Price has revisited this level of structure. So this is a break or bounce area. This is an area where you could possibly find some bullish rejection or price action to give us a possible wave up before any more continuation down. But for the bear side, like if price was to continue to break through structure here to the downside, then that's a sign for me that, yeah, it's likely we're going to continue down. So I would just say continue to look for those continued sales on those pullbacks. All right. And I believe it is likely we could get that similar to over here. Our price made this double top and just continued to sell off. All right. It's possible that we could get that, especially if the dollar continues its bullish pressure. All right. That will help GU continue to the downside. But for short term, where price is at here on the daily, I mean, we got a slight bullish engulfing right here. Price could possibly slightly pull back some more first before that happens. All right, so I will say be mindful of that. Like if we look at this right here, price is finding support so far. Okay, this could be a possible inverted head and shoulders that's trying to form. With this being our head of price, this being the left shoulder. So if price was to slightly pull back but still find support and break above here, then it's likely, we could see price give us a corrective wave up. All right, but looking at the long-term possibility, all right, how this formed this corrective bearish flag there, right, on this correction, the price continued to break down, something similar can happen, all right? Because if the dollar is just going to pull back and continue bullish, it's possible for GU, even if it does pull back, it's possible for it to be just a correction, all right? I'm sorry about that. Just a correction like that for it to continue to the downside overall. All right, so we'll have to see how price develop, but that's something that we could anticipate as well. Okay. Now looking at GJ. So GJ as well had a nice correction to the downside. All right, from this top. If we look to the left though, always look to the left to go right. This was a major supply level over here. All right, had made a top, had a big sell-off. So really GJ went the highest it's been in like 4 years. All right, this is the highest it's been. Okay, so it had a big correction down. Now, if we look at this on a monthly, you see here price formed this bullish engulfing pretty much the last 4 months. All right, so for me, that's showing long term, we could see a continued wave to the upside, likely retesting this structure level when price had this big sell-off in Brexit in 2016. So I believe we still going to see this give us that move up there. Okay, so what it looks like to me is that this big sell-off we got was just correcting. It was correcting this bullish engulfing candle we got here on the monthly. All right, so if we see this, if we go down to the weekly, you see price came down and it's retesting previous structure here. It's retesting previous resistance structure. We're going to see it more clearly on the smaller time frame. But right here, price formed a rejection from that level here on the weekly. If we go down to the daily, doing the top down, you can see right here on the daily, we got a slight bullish engulfing right here. Okay. Now looking to the left, this is a previous level of resistance structure. It's retesting that now. All right. So this is a potential area for support. Retest, you could take your fib from that low to this high. Roughly, we're roughly around the 61.8. So this pulled back about 61.8, 62% or so. All right. So that is an ideal area where we possibly could see, after this correction, we could see price give us a continued wave up. All right. So this could be the first impulsive leg, the second wave on a pullback. All right, this could be setting up for the 3 waves to give us an extension up. So we'll have to play this and see how price is going to react here. All right, a lot of the JPY pairs right now is looking like they're setting up for corrections to the upside after such. We had a lot of JPY strength come in. It's looking like we could be setting up for some weakness this week. All right. So right now, price is holding support. It's holding support. So this is roughly around 152.5. It's like a psychological level, quarters level. All right. So if price hold here and continue to pump up, I would say you continue to catch those corrections, catch those continuations up to the upside. All right. But as of right now, I do like the price action I see, something like this for a hold of support. But for me to show more of a sign that we're going to the upside, is price. I would like to see price break above this structure to the left. Break above this structure here. If we can get that, then I would say a nice pullback, maybe a retest of that can be a nice opportunity to catch this wave to the upside. All right, Euro USD. So if we look at this on the weekly, all right, so price kept tanking to the downside. Now, if we look at how this candle closed on the weekly, strong impulsive close. For me, that's showing signs that the sellers are really still in control of this thing. Like a lot of impulsive pressure still is on EU. All right, that's going in line with the strength of the dollar. So signs is showing that the dollar is going to continue bullish, and it's showing that EU could likely continue bearish overall. And that will just trade in line with each other when it comes to the strength of the dollar. All right, but right now it is at a level where it could give you some type of rejection or probably hold some support. So if you look to the left, like this is a strong previous level of resistance or supply. All right. Strong level of supply. The price had big sell-offs in the past. All right, look to the left, more strong supply level where price had a big sell-off. So if price was to respect to go up, this would be the perfect level for it to do that. All right. So on the smaller time frames, before you get any more continued selling pressure, you could possibly see price correct to the upside. All right. So for me, I would still be looking for sales. I believe the bigger moves are still to the downside. The bigger moves are still to the downside. So it's either price is going to pull back and correct first, or it's going to continue to dump. So if we get a correction up here, that would be ideal. You know, seeing some type of corrective move and then catching that continuation to the downside. All right, either that, or you can see price. If price continues to just break down from here, right, then I would say continue to sell these pullbacks. Continue to just ride that wave to the downside, following the momentum. So you want to just trade in line with structure. Euro AUD. So EA, this is actually a trade I'm in right now, and I held this over the weekend. We're at a nice level of structure. If you look to the left, looking at this on a weekly, looking to the left, you see price in the past, this was a major level of demand, right? Where price had a strong bounce to the upside. Looking to the left, right? So this is the level that you will see price possibly retest and reject. And right here, it found resistance, and we had a nice rejection to end the week. Here on the daily, it's a bearish engulfing that it formed. All right. And it's looking like some all strength is coming in. So this just goes in line with it perfectly. All right. So for me right now, I still like sales this week. All right. So how to trade this? I would say either if you wasn't in this already, I would say look for a pullback or a retest up here, somewhere like that. You know, look for some type of corrective, bearish flag or something. Let price correct itself. And on a pullback, look for that continuation down. All right, either that, or if price continues to break this structure right here, which is I would consider a higher low structure. And if we get a nice break of that, you could catch a pullback. Still look for pullback opportunities to catch that sell down. All right. EJ. So EJ did something similar as well. If you're in VIP or if you've been following some of my analysis, even in the Telegram or wherever, you will see I was anticipating this drop, right? Price gave us that completion, and this signal was actually given out. So price continued its drop to the downside. And it was likely that we was going to at least come back to this structure, right? Because looking to the left, this was a major level of resistance here. It was resistance here, right? It was some support right here. All right. So this is a level of structure you pay attention to. So price came back and revisited this same level of structure. So this is also a level of structure where price could potentially hold here for support. Taking my fib, we're roughly around the 61.8, similar to GJ, a pullback about 61.8, golden retracement. All right. So with this, is either I would look for a opportunity for one more wave down. All right, one more wave down and then continue, because if you look at this on a monthly as well, similar to GJ, the monthly candle closed bullish engulfing, all right, showing that the bigger move or the long-term move is to the upside. All right, so right now we're just correcting that bullish engulfing that we got on the monthly. All right, and that's the correction we see on the weekly, on the daily. All right, so if price holds some type of firm support here, it's likely that we could see this continue to the upside. All right, because this could be just forming a higher low if we're looking at the daily to just continue up. All right, so this is one way. This is a way I will. Sorry about that. This is a way that I will play it. Okay. So right here, price could just continue from here. It could give you one more wave down. All right. So if price is just pulling up right here and it still rejects, forms a rejection, then I would say look to continue that bearish wave to the downside, because that could mean that price is going to give you one more wave down. And if it is going to give you another wave down, looking to the left, I would look for price to come down here. Right. Looking to the left around this level of support or this major demand level, demand order, I would look for price to probably give us one more correction down there. And that also lines up with this trend line I have. And then maybe find support there to continue that wave up. All right. So that's a level of structure I would pay attention to if price gives us another wave to the downside. Okay. Now, if it just continues to find firm bullish support right here, right, give you an impulsive close up above this level, then I would just look to buy the pullbacks. All right. So right now I'm just waiting to see how price is going to develop right here. AJ, so all JPY, I actually sent this out as well. Price was up here. All right. I sent this out when price was breaking down right here, saying, you know, anticipate or expect that to continue to sell off. And really, I was looking for it to come down to the structure that it came to. You see right here, this was a level of demand or support. All right. It became resistance here. So that was a level that I was paying attention to for price to revisit. So now we reached this level. All right. And now it's looking like price is holding some type of support. But just like the other JPY pairs, GJ, EJ, right here on the monthly, we got a big bullish engulfing, a big bullish impulsive close on the monthly. So that's showing, for me, that's showing that the bigger move is still, or the long-term move is still to the upside. So it's likely that we could see this come back up here to this supply level, 89.5 or so. All right. So looking at that, this is now finding firm support right here. All right. Somewhat of a double bottom right here. The left shoulder. This is like the right shoulder. Price is now finding support. So for me, the bias is bullish on AJ. Now, if this just continues to break up, right, those pullback opportunities will likely be just continued moves to the upside. AU, so AU was nice sales to the downside. This is something I was following as well. So this all went in line with the strong dollar. All right, AU, EU, NU, all of these pairs were selling off because the dollar was pumping as well. So they always going in line. All right, so you see now what price is doing is finding some type of support. Looking to the left, this level of support, price is finding some support at that level of structure. All right, so it's looking like we could see a corrective move or correction up happen on AU. Looking at here on the weekly, this could be a higher low forming. From here to this higher low, all right, this could be a higher low forming to give another move up. All right, so right now, I wouldn't look for any sales, at least not yet on AU. Even though overall we could see this continue to sell off because of the strength of the dollar. All right, so we could see something like this happen. We could see AU correct up back towards 0.74. Now, if price goes up back towards that structure and it rejects and finds resistance, we could see this continue to sell off. All right, but this week I like for it to continue to correct to the upside. All right, so looking at USDCAD, I look at this on a monthly. See, price had last monthly candle closed big bearish engulfing candle. All right, so really right here, what we getting this buy was correcting that. It was correction of that. All right, more often than not, if you see a bearish engulfing, bullish engulfing, such a strong close on a monthly, you know, even though that tells you long term what a bigger move is, what a long term move is, you know, that's still, you still can anticipate more often than not corrections to happen on a smaller time frame, you know, before it continues. So that's what we got here on the weekly. You see price continued up, found support right here, gave us a pump. That also went in line with oil weakness that came in, CAD weakness. So now looking at this, price pulled up basically around this level, this bearish order block type level, right? Where price has sell-offs in the past. All right, so it's looking like price is getting ready to correct down. All right, but that doesn't mean the bullish pressure is done. All right, this could be just a correction to get one more wave up. All right, so it's already correcting down. Right here, if price finds support right here, this could be an opportunity to catch a continuation up. One more wave up. All right, but if it was continue to come down and break structure, then on the pullbacks, that could be a continuation to the downside. All right, S&P, somebody requested. So really it's just bullish. This thing is just bullish. All these indices is just bulls, right? Really right now it's looking like just continue to buy the dips. You know, here on this monthly, you see this monthly candle close bullish engulfing, right? That's a sign the buyers are still in control and they continue to pump after that. All right, so it's no reason to look for anything but buys right now. So right now the dips are just giving opportunity. So right here, it pulled back, and then boom, price is still showing its hand to the upside. So this week is still looking bullish. All right, right here it's a little. I mean, it's like 50-50. I mean, this could be a correction up to give us one more wave down. But overall, I mean, this thing is just bullish. So if you're selling it, it's likely going to be short term, because even if this does correct, you know, this could come down here, even though that'd be a big correction. But overall, the bias is still to the upside as of now. All right. So those are the pairs that's on the watch list for the week. If you're in VIP, I will keep you up to date when any trades that I'm entering myself. I will send you all the opportunities that I see. And, you know, let's see if we can catch some nice pips this week.